On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Remit.
The act of sending money or payment to someone. The area of responsibility or authority assigned to a particular person or group. Verb, to send money in payment or as a gift.
Examples:
Tax remit. Remit by cable. The remit of the committee is to review the company's financial statements.
Trauma.
An emotional wound or shock often has long-lasting effects caused by a highly upsetting or shocking experience.
Examples:
Psychic trauma. Trauma care. Many civilians have suffered trauma as a result of the war.
Architect.
A person whose job is to design plans to be used in making something, such as buildings.
Examples:
Landscape architect. Architect of the peace accord. The building architect tried to build the house above the tree.
Confront.
To face, meet or deal with a problem or difficult situation or person.
Examples:
Confront a global warming. Confront the issue. He finally decided to confront problems directly.
Ginormous.
Combination of gigantic and enormous, extremely large.
Examples:
Ginormous elephant. Ginormous skyscraper. The construction site was filled with ginormous pieces of heavy machinery.
Pleach.
To interweave or intertwine branches or plants to create a hedge or fence, to cause things to intersect or cross each other.
Examples:
Pleach trees. Pleach grapevines. The gardener pleached the branches of the hedge to form a neat, woven pattern.
Graft.
A transplanted portion of tissue or skin, often taken from one part of the body and used to repair or replace damaged or missing tissue in another part. A corrupt or illegal means of acquiring wealth or power through illicit or unethical methods.
Examples:
Graft surgery. Anti-graft law. The patient's skin graft procedure was successful, and he was released from the hospital.
Osculate.
To kiss, to come into close contact or touch.
Examples:
Osculate at this specific point. Osculate her cheek. The melody of the song osculates with the rhythm perfectly.
Contiguous.
Sharing a common boundary, touching, adjacent.
Examples:
Contiguous territory. Contiguous numbers. The contiguous states are connected by land.
Vascular.
Of or relating to blood vessels, especially the veins and arteries that carry blood throughout the body.
Examples:
Vascular disease. Vascular surgery. The doctor detected a blockage in the patient's vascular system.
Modicum.
A small or moderate amount of something, often something that is desirable.
Examples.
A modicum of truth. A modicum of sense. A modicum of patience is needed to complete this project successfully.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples.
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Scaffold.
A temporary platform or structure used to support workers and materials during construction or maintenance work.
Examples.
Scaffold construction. Go to the scaffold. The construction workers set up the scaffold to reach the top of the building.
Epithet.
A descriptive word or phrase used to characterize or describe someone or something. A term or nickname that highlights a particular quality, attribute, or characteristic.
Examples.
Literary epithets. Offensive epithet. He was given the epithet the King of Rock and Roll for his iconic contributions to music.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples.
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Geometry.
The area of pure mathematics that deals with the points, lines, curves, and surfaces.
Examples.
Euclidean geometry. Spherical geometry. The mathematician pioneered fractal geometry.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples.
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Landscape.
An expanse of scenery that can be seen in a single view, a large area of land, especially in the country and relating to its appearance.
Examples.
A peaceful landscape. Landscape painting. Recent electoral shocks have shaken the political landscape in Europe.
Carbon.
A chemical element that can be found in pure form as diamond or graphite, and it is also an essential part of coal and oil and is found in all plants and animals.
Examples.
Carbon dioxide. Carbon emission. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and give off oxygen.
Suburb.
An outlying district or residential area of a city or town, typically comprising middle-class and affluent neighborhoods.
Examples:
Suburb development, suburb life. He grew up in the suburbs, but always dreamed of living in the city.
Veggie.
Short for vegetarian, relating to or consisting of vegetables.
Examples:
Veggie omelet, veggie dip. I prefer to eat veggie burgers instead of traditional meat burgers.
Vitro.
Used as in vitro, a scientific experiment or procedure that takes place outside of a living organism, usually in a test tube or petri dish.
Examples:
In vitro fermentation, in vitro diagnostics. The lab technician used in vitro fertilization to help the couple conceive.
Habitat.
The type of natural environment in which an organism or group usually lives or occurs.
Examples:
A marine habitat, threatened habitat. The habitat of this bird is freshwater areas and saltwater marshes.
Architecture.
The art and science of designing and constructing buildings.
Examples:
Architecture design, classic architecture. The city is known for its impressive architecture and beautiful old buildings.
Molecular.
Of or relating to molecules, equals a group of two or more atoms held together by attractive forces known as chemical bonds.
Examples:
Molecular structure, molecular biology. Molecular weight is the sum of all the atoms.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples:
Evolutionary biology, cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
Lab instrument, medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design, series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Regenerative.
Tending to regrow or restore lost or injured tissue.
Examples:
Regenerative medicine, regenerative therapy. The regenerative properties of stem cells make them a promising area of research.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Tissue.
An ensemble of similar cells of the animal or plant that together carry out a specific function.
Examples:
A facial tissue. Loss of muscle tissue. The researcher separated the nervous tissue for microscopic examinations.
Engineer.
A person whose job is designing, building, or maintaining something such as machines, structures, or software.
Examples:
A civil engineer. Engineer shortage. The engineer will repair my telephone tomorrow morning.
Cellular.
Of or connected with the cells of animals or plants. Of or connected with a mobile telephone system that uses several short-range radio stations instead of wires.
Examples:
Cellular and molecular biology. A cellular phone handset. This factory employs a cellular manufacturing system.
Matrix.
A rectangular array of numbers, symbols, or expressions, arranged in rows and columns and often enclosed in brackets, an enclosure within which something originates or develops.
Examples:
The matrix of Western civilization. Matrix multiplication. The matrix of numbers on the spreadsheet allowed the accountant to track the company's profits and losses easily.
Modify.
To change something slightly, such as a plan, option, law, etc., especially to make it more suitable for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Genetically modify food. Modify my behavior. We use adverbs to modify verbs and adjectives.
Inkjet.
Of or relating to a type of printing technology commonly used in printers and other imaging devices that is a method of producing hard copies of digital images or documents by propelling tiny droplets of ink onto paper or other printable surfaces.
Examples:
Inkjet printing. Inkjet droplet. The printer used inkjet technology for high-quality prints.
Industrial.
Of or relating to or resulting from industry.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Industrial alcohol. Industrial design has become more focused on human nature aspect than ever before.
Leather.
A material made from the skin of an animal, typically by tanning, and used for clothing, shoes, furniture, and other items.
Examples:
Enameled leather. Leather boots. The leather jacket was worn in but still comfortable.
Belt.
To sing loudly and forcefully, to hit someone or something hard, Noun, a strip of leather or other material worn to tie or buckle something around the body.
Examples:
Belt him in the face. Leather belt. The band was belting out old songs in response to audience requests.
Sentient.
Having the ability to perceive or feel things, particularly through sense perception like touch or sight, especially at higher levels of intelligence and consciousness.
Examples:
Sentient beings. Sentient robots. Animals such as dolphins and elephants are highly sentient and intelligent creatures.
Creature.
A living being, especially an animal.
Examples:
Creature of habit. Artificial creature. The deep-sea creature was unlike anything the scientists had ever seen before.
Victim.
A person who has been harmed, injured, or otherwise negatively affected by a particular action, circumstance, or event.
Examples:
Victim support. Victim compensation. The victim of the crime deserves justice and support to recover from the trauma.
Tube.
A cylindrical container of metal, plastic, glass, etc., usually sealed and used as a means of preserving food or chemicals, a hollow cylindrical shape.
Examples:
A capillary tube. A glass tube. The tube train was packed with commuters during rush hour.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Stud.
A small object with a head on one end and a sharp point on the other, used for fastening clothing, leather, or other materials. An animal used for breeding, typically a male horse or bull that is of superior breeding stock. Verb, to decorate or adorn with studs, to provide with studs for support.
Examples:
Horse stud. Wall stud. He bought a new stud to attach the strap to his watch.
Architectural.
Of or relating to the design and construction of buildings and other structures and the features and style of such structures.
Examples:
Study architectural engineering. Beautiful architectural landmarks. The architectural style of the building was a mix of modern and traditional.
Construct.
To build or create something, to assemble or combine different parts to form something whole.
Examples:
construct a 3D image, construct a dam. He constructs hypotheses that no mathematician has ever imagined before.
Sect.
A group of people who follow a particular religious or philosophical belief system, especially one that is regarded as outside the norm or mainstream.
Examples:
Sect beliefs, secret sect. The minority sect believed in a set of unconventional religious practices.
Proposal.
A formal suggestion or offer, sometimes a written one.
Examples:
An innovative proposal. Details of his proposal. Our skeleton outline of the proposal met with much opposition.
Fatty.
Containing a lot of fat.
Examples:
Less fatty meat. Fatty acid. You should keep away from fatty foods.
Insulation.
The act or process of covering something to stop heat, sound, electricity, etc. from passing through. The materials used for this.
Examples:
Additional sound insulation. Insulation board. He installed fiberglass insulation in the wall.
Cilium.
A microscopic, hair-like cellular projection that is found on the surface of many cells in the body, helping them to move or trap debris.
Examples:
Cilium movement. Primary cilium. The microscopic analysis revealed a cilium's presence on the single-celled organism's surface.
Sphincter.
A circular muscle that regulates the flow of material through a passage or opening, such as the anus or a valve in the digestive system.
Examples:
Urinary sphincter. Anal sphincter. The digestive system's sphincter muscle helps regulate the food and waste flow.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly or extremely.
Examples:
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Ugly.
Unattractive in appearance, unpleasant to look at.
Examples:
An ugly sound. Ugly building. The ugly truth was that he had been lying to her for months.
Span.
The entire length of something, such as time or space from beginning to end, the amount of space that something covers.
Examples:
The span of a bird's wings. The average lifespan. He slightly modified the span of training because it was just before a match.
Colonial.
Of or relating to a colony, equals a territory that is controlled by a more powerful country, To the period of time during which a country or region was a colony.
Examples:
Oppressive colonial rule. Colonial style. The city has a rich colonial history, with many historic buildings and landmarks.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Cathedral.
The main Christian church of a bishop's diocese, which is often the largest and most important church in the area.
Examples:
Cathedral school. Cathedral choir. The cathedral's stained glass windows depicted scenes from the Bible.
Religion.
A deep conviction in a supernatural power that controls human destiny.
Examples:
Religion sociology. Freedom of religion. Their religion strictly prohibits them from drinking or gambling.